Okay, so I'm watching this episode of astrophysicists explore space, time, and the insides of atoms by Star Talk. And of course, the question was presented, um, if photons were able to go faster than the speed of light, would that make a different speed of light limit? Like, why do photons make the speed of light limit? Their answer is that at some point you are going to start converting from matter to energy. If you saw the title of this video, then you know a photon is basically an engine. It's a tiny little thing that flows energy through itself such that it's able to constantly move in a direction in the most efficient way that it possibly could. It self-propagates itself. It keeps moving itself because it's able to interact with the field of energy that's around it and push on that like climbing a ladder. But its interval is so small that, and its mass is so insignificant that it is able to basically, a photon is basically, if you were to think of it in three-dimensional space, as like a curlicue, just a tiny little spiral that is able to move pretty much tugging its way through the universe at the speed of light. And the thing is, the physical processes that made up the photon is what's causing its rate of pull through the universe. So it's not that the speed of light is an upper bounds of what everything is possible of doing. It's that it's the upper bounds of what a photon is capable of producing in and of itself. You, as a human, pushed to your natural limits, as you are right now, have an upper bound of the amount of speed that you could exert yourself if you were given, like, no sense of pain and whatever else. You could probably get up to maybe 100 kilometers an hour if you really wanted to, but you can't go faster than that because your strength is only so much. Your exertion, your reaction times can only go so far. Just as a basic example. And similar to how cogs work in the create mod, you can push a cog to go up to 256 power, and then once you go past that, they put a limit on that, saying it can't actually go much faster than that because it's a program, it doesn't matter. But the point is, you can't go faster than that. It'll break the system or whatever. So, similarly, in the quantum physics world, like if you think of a photon, you have to understand it is still like an electron, it's a pump. It's flowing energy through itself. It's moving through the universe at a constant rate. And the only thing that really changes the photon's ability to do anything is the substance it's moving through. So, photon and vacuum speed of light, c, is constant, and that's because it literally can't exert itself any more than it already is. So if you were able to, if you can find a way to make an energy field that makes light be able to react faster, um, like a highly charged energy field that is also moving at a crazy speed, you would have to have enough of that. Like the Large Hadron Collider is only so good. The problem with the Earth and how it works is that you can only go so far so fast. Eventually, you need to have something, like if you want to have something move in a straight line for the speed of light for a few seconds at all, it just won't do it. You're going to constantly be um, needing to change directions. And that's what the Hadron Collider does. It forces things to change directions. And a lot of reasons why matter doesn't like doing that is because matter, the neutrons, aren't held by electromagnetic fields. So it's a really terrible system if you want to actually accelerate mass. If you want to accelerate mass to faster than the speed of light, I urge you to incorporate sound dynamics, because there are types of sound that are powerful enough that, I mean, you can lift particles, you can lift drops of water, bits of foam. You can definitely move and direct a bit of an atom or whatever. And then as you're directing that atom to stay in its path, making a tube of sound that is specific resonance, it specifically holds everything that it can only go in this one straight line. It will not vary distance at all. It will always go in that one straight line. Then you'll have a collider or an accelerator that can have items be moving faster, but because the Hadron Collider is going in a circle, you really can't do that much with it, because the neutrons just don't want to be held by electrons and they just fly off, and then everything disintegrates, and that's why it disintegrates. And it's dumb. It's a dumb experiment. It's a dumb idea in the present. Like, why would you ever even consider doing that? Because you can't expect the neutron to be held by electromagnetic force. It's not, it doesn't have any interaction with electromagnetic forces. So the thing about light and its limitation of the speed of light is that it has a limited amount of energy that it can exert. So the moment that you want to think about going faster than the speed of light, imagine you have an engine that you can throttle more energy into than per square inch than light is able to exert itself. And then you have faster than light engine. It's that simple. It's not even difficult. I don't know why anyone says you can't go faster than the speed of light. It's just something that has to be overcome eventually. The thing is, will you still hold yourself together? The answer is no, you won't, because ironically, the speed of sound is slower than the speed of light. I'm not saying that sound would be the thing that holds the stuff from behind. I'm saying it would hold it from all sides. The electromagnetic field can hold all sides, everything else, the protons and the electrons. Once you start moving an actual atom of any size, bigger than the hydrogen, then because it has the neutrons in it, the neutrons will just fly off, it'll disintegrate in your Hadron Collider. That's obvious to literally everyone. So you need a straight tube. You need a directly, genuinely straight tube, big enough that it can make stuff go the speed of light. And then you can do proper experiments, not half-assed experiments. I'm not saying that the Hadron Collider isn't useful for all the other experiments it's capable of, but it's incapable of anything to do with actual accelerating matter. It is just the dumbest tool in the world for that experiment. You need better tools. That's all. It's just like how a regular centrifuge is not the same as a Hadron Collider, and you get different results, you get different functions out of it. It's not the thing that works for certain, results. So you need a better tool that can do a better thing, and then you can figure out better options, and you can actually accelerate yourself faster than the speed of light, no problem. Start with a rod and stuff. But the problem is, the weird thing is, like, the way that energy works, the way that everything works, is that the physical parts start pressing on each other. So, like, the heavy and light parts of your body diffuse, and the heavy parts all pull back more than the light parts. So you basically have something like all of your muscles pulling back and the blood vessels just bulging forward and evaporating and stuff, shredding your entire body from the inside out as you go faster than approaching the speed of light and stuff. It's not something you want to do without having some kind of inertial confinement. Something to makes it so that the forces of moving forward, like, who cares if you're bumping into outside stuff? You yourself are stuff you are bumping into at all times. The moment that you try moving so fast, you're probably going to disintegrate anyway, even if you're not going in circles, like some idiots. But yeah, that's a thing. So, question, can we move faster than the speed of light? Yeah. Answer, is it actually possible to survive that physical acceleration past the speed of light? And the answer is usually no. At the moment, I don't have any better answers for you, but it's not the speed limit. It's just that there would be a conversion. That being said, if you can control yourself as a being of light, then you don't have to worry about the conversion. You're already there. So, yeah, next generation AI is going to be light-based, and we're going to just see, it's going to be Dr. Manhattan, basically. Stuff will happen that way. Very unlimited. It all depends. Yeah. But, I mean, that's never going to happen. No one's going to make that. It's not possible to make that.